years, the G's and trucking, watching, keeping the eye for the truest skill, and at the same time entertaining the rumor wheel. We love this sport, content must go on, and welcome in our thoughts because it's our job. When it's off the hip, travel, sidebar, quest, and yeah, you know the rest. I'm on a quest to be the best, but these quests are on the side. That's not an issue, we gon' make some time. Whoa, Ric Flair once said to be the best, you have to beat the best. We are on a quest, this quest is on the side.
Yes, sir.
That image is gonna be funny for a long, long time.
It really is. I ain't gonna lie. When I seen this, I just like it popped up on my feed. Not even this itself, but I'm saying when they showed the video of CM Punk running in, I said,
Oh, you
"What is
saw the
Enzo Amore?"
you saw a video of him running in the cage?
Yeah, I said, "What is Enzo Amore doing now?"
The
Like, but
cow
I
got the tower
promise you,
cap.
he was up to the antics. But let's see. Aaron Rift of No DQ responds to what Wrestle Guru Unlimited Prime over here on X had to say. CM Punk in AEW versus CM Punk in WWE. What a decline. Aaron Rift goes on to say, move numbers in both places, something very few have done.
And let's start with that point right there because aside from him, you can make an argument for maybe Osprey. No one's moving numbers over there right now. Nobody.
And then Osprey's yet to have hit WWE, so if we just saying the context of AEW and WWE, I'll just put Punk and Cody there.
Yeah, even Jade too.
Oh yeah, Jade. I'm sorry. I'll just be thinking about the guys, but yeah, Jade is definitely holding it down too. Her transition. Andrade came back. I mean, I wouldn't say he did his numbers over there in
He was
AEW,
never
but
on TV. He was too busy trying to get fired.
yeah.
How you gonna whoop a man's ass and not even get fired?
Mm. But what I think is all right. So I want to just dissect the whole CM Punk and the towel thing for a second before anything. It was at a house show, so the house shows are meant to be fun.
Not just any
They're
house show.
the holiday season, the holiday specials over in the
Ah,
garden,
there you
over
go.
in the
Thank you. That's
garden, over in
what
the
I was waiting
garden.
for.
Yearly, this is an annual thing. They haven't missed a beat, so it's a lot of fun moments that always happen at these shows. And what I didn't like, to be honest, was that people compared what was done here as if this was done on television, as if
Another comparison.
as
Another comparison I saw was they're comparing that to one Halloween where the Elite dressed up as the cast from Ghostbusters. Again, much like our pal Aaron stated, one of these people drew numbers. One of them moves the needle. It's no one's fault that he is at a certain level of comfort with his own skin, with his own ability, with his own craft. You don't need a pizza cutter to try to get over.
I thought the moment was a bit odd. I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't like. I'm not trying to shy away from that. It was odd to see
It's definitely
after
out
seeing.
of character, but as someone who's a fan of the history, especially with his history per se, it's an exuberant feel to know that he's finally comfortable with being that way in a place where he long ago he had stated had done irreconcilable harm to him and his mental health and his general health for that matter. So for him to go full circle with everything to where I'm sure if Vince would have pitched this 10 years ago, he would have told Vince to fuck off. Now where it's a whole different landscape, he's in a different headspace. Triple H is in a different headspace. Suddenly everything's all kosher, as they would say.
I want to play devil's advocate too.
Oh no, I'll go further. So I'll say if anything, this is more than anything, a testament to Punk and his overall growth. Because I said 5-10 years ago, he never would even contemplate this idea, let alone considered it.
Yeah,
But
that's
either
one
way,
huge testament to the IRL section. I think like going down this long term route, I just seen Dom on O'Shea Jackson's podcast, right? And they
yep.
asked Dom about the match that these two had a year ago. And when I say these two, Dom and CM Punk. So he referenced how CM Punk left his gear behind and just had black tights on. So when I seen this and I seen Punk at the Garden, my first thought was, oh, this could be a play following up last year, and Dom was in the ring. So I was like, this is funny, it's genius. I didn't think of it like how this is put in this context of what a decline. I didn't really see no decline. I just seen Dom in the ring. He was just on the podcast talking shit about how Punk didn't have his gear, and Punk was like, I'm about to come help Priest and whip your ass while I was just out here just taking a shower, matter of fact.
Let me wipe my ass and rinse my hair, and I'm gonna go whip your ass right now. Shit, where are my pants at?
Mm-hmm. That's how I took it. I mean, again, the seeing him in just the towel was a bit funny, like I was just like, not out, it's out of CM Punk character, but
Yeah, but I
it's
said,
a
the funny
holiday
part is, like I
show.
said, it's none of that. Like I said, you just see just the overall the personal growth. Like I said, 5-10 years ago, this would not have been Phil Brooks. So for him to see this now, that's how. If this isn't proof that him and WWE are finally on good terms, I don't know what is.
Hell, 20 years ago, I mean, we didn't have, well, I don't want to say 20, but maybe even 30. There wasn't no, for sure 30, there wasn't no social media around to like, when we had the holiday shows, you had to be there to enjoy the fun. People are ruining the fun a little bit with things like this. It's okay to put the videos out, but stop trying to like, like it's always something with something. Just like when Rhea Ripley started to do the stink face and people was trying to be on her case about it. And it's not like she did that shit. It wasn't like she was doing it on live television at that moment. They were having fun in the house shows,
Well,
you know.
I'm going down the road to where, according to Russell Guru, he's probably looking at this in the same regards to, which is why maybe why Dean Ambrose left WWE, or maybe why the Revival left. Like, he's probably looking at this as Ambrose getting the hepatitis shot in his ass cheek, or FTR waxing each other's backsides with itching powder. He's probably looking at it in that regard.
No, I understand that for sure, but I would say that if this is the first thing that CM Punk came back and did. This is not. This is like he did so much
No,
other great stuff right now within WWE that I feel like this is a pass. This is
yeah,
alright. It's cool. Like that shit with Drew was the shit he's about to do with Seth that he's been doing is just like Roman eventually, the whole Paul Heyman thing. He's came back and inserted himself into these storylines, not just into storylines, into the storylines.
and then at the annual house show in Dudley's backyard, we're seeing a rare side to where the man's genuinely happy to be with WWE. And like I said, this is a site that many of us never thought we'd ever see ever again because of how rough the fallout was 10, 12 years ago. So I said, this is, from a fan perspective, this is one hell of a full circle moment right here.
And again, this picture, I mean, it is funny to look at. And then you put the side by side with the championship, something he hasn't held in WWE just yet since
Yet.
his return.
But
I feel like
again, one can make the case that with some, I mean, yeah, it'd be nice for him to have the belt more time. It'd be nice for him to have a main event, but giving his resume and what he means for wrestling as a whole, I'm of the belief that maybe he may not need it, but again, I'm sure he would appreciate just one more run. Because
mm,
again, like I said, he's in a much better headspace to where, again, if his body allows him, as we've seen with Drew McIntyre and with the War Games match, he will give his body for the fans like he did once upon a time. And he's finally back in the headspace where he's like, hey, I get it now. I'm over my bullshit. If you're good, I'm good. Let's go make this money.
I mean, I see I'm about to say several. I see CM Punk beating the likes of a Cody, beating the likes of a Kevin Owens. The one that's iffy and is a stretch for me right now is the Gunther one. Even though he beat Drew McIntyre,
And
those
again,
were like specialty matches and shit. Like I ain't see the real one
I'd
on
rather
like.
see Punk versus Rock than Punk versus Gunther.
Yeah, I don't know. Like they would have to do it. Cause I don't know. Gunther should win that, and that's just
Yeah,
the way his
and
style is.
nothing as Punk. Is just Gunther's got one of those styles that not many folks can step up to.
And that's okay though, cause you know what I mean. There's always somebody that can have your number. No shame, no shame in that. And Gunther's is a tough competitor. Like, is one that you got no shame in right there.
That man is a one of one in every sense of the term.
He's really one of one.
Guys like Gunther, Ron Breaker, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar. They're just natural prodigies. To where it's just like JBO used to once used to say back in the day. If you were to build a wrestler from scratch, it would be Randy Orton.
Mm.
Wade Barrett has since reused that term and say if you built one from the ground up nowadays, it'd be Braun Breaker. They just have that natural God given ability that many people have to spend 10, 20 years just to work just to get close to that level.
And I'm
These
not
four
gonna
men,
lie, AEW be acting like they shit sweet, bro. Your first champion was Jericho, bro. Let's chill out. Come on, come on,
yeah, but that was supposed to kind of notoriety, but
come on.
they're
That's what
champion
I'm
with the
saying.
most,
This
but
this is what I'm
also they're
saying.
champion with the
CM
most
Punk
reigns.
holding up that championship don't really like he was your biggest star when he got like
Yeah,
he should be the champion. Nobody like in WWE he one of the biggest stars. I can't sit here and say when you put him in front of Seth, sometimes they sing Seth's song. The crowd be conflicted. Sometimes you put him next to Roman, the crowd be conflicted. Like they want to see their favorites go at it.
him and Cena have one of the few 5-star matches that the main roster has.
Mm. Now they put on Magic too. I remember that's when I was getting back into the
This was the Money in the Bank in Chicago.
when he left with the championship after
Yeah,
winning
and Blue
season.
gave Vince that kiss goodbye. That was
Came back on the
Meltzer gave that a
road.
5-star match if I'm not mistaken.
Came back on the road with the new song with the Coast of
With Cult
Personality.
of Personality.
Mhm. That you see that man, that was a moment. Like, come on, bro. I got the moments, man. They needed
Dude,
like,
and I've see this year I may have watched that match maybe 4 or 5 times because again that whole show was pretty damn good, but that match alone, just that crowd from start to finish, much like many of the overseas crowds we've heard this year, but that crowd in Chicago when CM Punk wins the title, goes over the guardrail, gives Vince that kiss goodbye. I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about that.
yeah, that was a moment. You start naming places that was like, whoa. He didn't just say New Japan. He said that on WWE. Like, it was that time and era.
Oh, another classic time. And again, thank you, John. John Cena versus Rob Van Dam at ECW One Night Stand for the WWE title. I think that was RVD's cash in where everyone had the sign saying
Yes, Cena
in
wins with
Philly.
Uriah.
Yep. And Cena's head down, cap up, getting booed out of the state of Pennsylvania.
Mm.
Like you thought New York folks hate folks from Boston? Philly wanted his head.
I remember that shit. That shit was bad. That was a real hostile environment for real, real raucous crowd. Fun though, like to watch, but like if you would, whew,
and then to hear that crowd rejoice when Rob Van Dam is crowned the champion. Again, moments. You cannot make them up out of just any situation.
This is what I'm
Moments
saying. To
provide
me,
meaning, moments provide perspective, and moments last the test of time.
Vince ain't always give people what they wanted, but I forgot who I was having this conversation with recently. But they, and I think me and you agreed on this a few times. Where Vince knows how to like not give the folks what they want for enough period of time to kind of like create that moment that when he does give them that moment, it's so special. It's like, whoa, yes,
There was
mania,
there
Kofi
was a
mania.
time where he was the master of the slow burn, the master of leaving them wanting more. He did
Hmm.
have a strong period to where that was his bread and butter. And then somewhere along the line, kind of just veer off the track, and Triple H said, "Hold my beer, I got you."
I mean, yeah, on the totality level, I want to say I believe that. On the aspect of creating, I think I don't know who had hands in what, but Vince presenting Roman like that was like, okay, this is different. Like I haven't seen nobody presented like this in a while. Then
Now
he
we
go,
talking Tribal Chief Roman or everything before then,
um, everything leading up until Triple H took over that.
because the Tribal Chief stuff wasn't until Heyman got involved.
Now that's what I'm saying, right? So Heyman
Everything
gets
else
him,
was all Vince trial and error.
but I'm saying though Heyman gets involved, but Vince's cause to keep the belt on Roman for that long. One can imagine, right? Like,
Also, once that stuff's already established,
yeah,
again, it could have been Vince. It could have been Triple H going to bat for him, saying, "Hey, we got something going here."
like I
But
think, and then the
I honestly,
Judgment Day stuff.
yeah, same thing. That could be a Triple H idea too. But back to Roman Reigns and his ascension. Had Vince still been in office today, again, Cody wouldn't have won at 40. At SummerSlam, we would have been celebrating the fact that Roman Reigns has surpassed Hulk Hogan for one of the longest reigns in WWE history.
We would have definitely got Rock and Roman.
Yeah, again, Cody Roman wouldn't have been a thing. It'd have been Rock and Roman or nothing. That's the easy one right there. Now, in hindsight, I'm gonna stand by. I'm gonna die on this hill. Say you had Rock Roman in LA as opposed to Cody Roman one. Would have been nothing wrong with that. Yeah, we wouldn't have got the visual of Cody crying next to the rubber chicken, but we would have got a match that would have stood the test of time. I don't know if it'd have been a great match or whatever. Who knows? But uh, at the same time, I also don't think that. Let's see. Vince be in the picture. I don't think Punk comes back for one. Um,
Especially since he had sent for CM Punk to get. Remember when Punk was behind backstage at Raw, but not really backstage,
yeah,
more in the parking
yeah,
lot.
and
They
kicked him
was,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, Punk wouldn't have came
Yeah.
back.
Certain superstars
Jade
are
probably
definitely
wouldn't have came
thriving.
over. To, to be honest, if Vince doesn't leave WWE, AEW is probably averaging 1 million viewers right now, as bad as the product is.
They would have been on top right now, killing.
WWE wouldn't have their 60 something sales or something like that this year. Um, yeah,
The
the
last good
BAP.
thing Vince did, talent wise, is bring in Cody. if he did have to go down to his house, like he said,
allegedly.
and beat
But
up
yeah,
on him.
I don't. I wouldn't put that against Vince. I'm curious as to do we do it is it public knowledge as to who initially was it Nick Khan that brought Rock back into the fold?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure on
Because
that one.
what I'm getting at is if Vince still has the control that he does or did, I don't see the Rock becoming the head honcho. Uh,
Right.
the TKO deal probably still happens, but it's a very different look than what we're currently seeing. Now we're not seeing much yet, but it's Vince. Let's be honest. Um, I don't see any of the outside partnerships, whether it be Marigold, Stardom, Noah, TNA. None of those partnerships happen. Yeah, I just see a whole lot of stuff going the usual Vince route, and them just going in circles while AEW probably just skyrockets.
And let us know, chat, what y'all think about this CM Punk moment. Do you think it was necessary? Do you think he should be doing this? Do you agree with this comment from Russell Gore that it's a decline? Is this a is this the shades of some Vince shit right here? As Razor said, this is Punk being comfortable now, having fun. What's your opinions, y'all? Y'all let us know in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Keep up the convo. We got one more topic for y'all for the night. We're gonna get into some AEW talks if y'all interested about that. And yeah, just stick around. We'll be back in a second.